Archbishop, am I correct that in Nigeria, homosexuality is still considered a criminal act?
Yes, the laws of Nigeria have long since provided for it in the penal code, but it is now ratified in the parliamentary system.
So may I ask what the Church's response to that is? How does the Church minister in that context in Nigeria?
Homosexuality has always been in Nigeria. I grew up to know people who are homosexuals, even as young kids. When I was in the military school, there were a few young men, some are seniors and some are juniors, who were found, and by the Nigerian Army laws, they were dismissed from the army. And it's something that's it's there with people. But when I became a Christian, I found also in the ministry as a young youth leader that there were people who had homosexual orientation, and the church was helping them. And that became the foundation of my ministry to homosexuals till date. It was considered as any other sin, and I've known people who have turned from homosexuality through grace of God and through the love that's been shown to them and the message of the gospel. And in fact, one is in ministry, married with 3 children that I know of through my own ministry in Jos.
Archbishop, you're also a pastor, I believe. What would your message be to a young man or a young woman who struggles with same-sex attraction?
Like any other sinner or any person living in sin, it's not to make it public. We have private discussions. It's a long process. It's a walk through a long journey. We do Bible study. We try to look at what Scripture says and establish the authority of Scripture. Slowly and gradually, we introduce prayer. And I am yet to meet anybody in any form of sin, whether it's homosexuality or stealing or even murder, people who I've met in prison and have come out and so on, who are proud privately of their sin. I have not met one yet. They want to get out of it, but they don't know how. So my job as a pastor is to help people, walk with them over time to get out of it. Because we do it privately, there are some who, after they have recovered, have given me permission to share their testimony. I do change the names. I don't give that. But there are issues that I can talk about and give examples. And this is what I believe some in the West do not know. And because the West has been to the moon, they therefore think that even in theological ministry, they are ahead of everybody else and their methods is the best. It's not true. I have been a pastor for over 30 years and I've encountered different forms of people in different sins. And I have learned over the years to walk with them in their sin, not condemning them, not shaming them. By the way, I was also a sinner, saved by grace, and the method that was used in bringing me to Christ is the same method I'm using in bringing many people to Jesus Christ. So to sweep around and say Christians in Africa are judgmental is erroneous, it's arrogance, it's not fair. There's some who truly are walking side by side with people who have fallen, struggling with their fallen nature, and they're bringing them to Christ. And that's what I do. Alpha, Omega.